Welcome back to the Chill Mama channel, and I'm continuing the naughty Amelia Jane book, and this time it's chapter 5, and this chapter is called Amelia Jane and the Plasticine. Now, just to let you know, plasticine is an English thing, but in America we call it clay. Just simply, clay, molding clay. In England they call it plasticine. Strange, I know, but I just wanted to let you guys know that it's actually just molding clay. Now, Amelia Jane had been good for a very long time, so good that the golden-haired doll really wondered if Amelia was ill. But she wasn't ill, of course. She was just boiling up for some more mischief. Amelia Jane had found the box of plasticine in the cupboard, and every night she played with the plasticine. She sat in the corner by herself, and the other toys took no notice of her at all. Amelia Jane was very clever and skilled with the plasticine. She could make flowers and shells and tables and chairs and all kinds of things. And then, of course, naughty ideas would come into play, and she would think about things in her mind, what she could do. She had heard the teddy bear complaining once that he had no towel. So she thought, you know what? I think I'll make Teddy Bear a towel, and he will think he has grown a towel all by himself. That would be fun. What would he say when it comes off? Amelia Jane made a beautiful long towel of plasticine. It was brown to match the teddy bear's fur, and it had some pretty little blue spots on it for detail here and there. Amelia Jane made some marks on it to make it look furry as well, so it was very texturized. It was finished at last. Amelia Jane grinned to herself and waited till she saw the teddy bear finally fall asleep in the corner. Then she crept up to him with the plasticine towel. Nobody was about. Amelia Jane quickly pressed one end of the towel onto Teddy Bear's back. It stuck perfectly. Then the naughty doll ran back to her place in the cupboard. Presently the Clockwork Clown walked along to talk to the bear. He saw the towel and he stared at it as if he couldn't believe his eyes. Teddy, wake up, he shouted in excitement. You've grown a towel, a fine towel. You really have. The teddy woke up with a jump. Oh, what is it? When he saw his new towel curling round him like a cat's, he was so surprised that he couldn't say a word at first. And then he got up and bent himself over to have a good look at it. I've got a towel at last. A real towel. I always thought I might grow one, and now I have. Golly, come and look at Teddy's beautiful new towel. Come and have a look. Golly came, and the golden-haired doll as well, and, of course, Amelia too. It's magnificent, said Golly. It makes you look really handsome, said the golden-haired doll. How clever of you to grow it all by yourself, said naughty Amelia Jane. Wasn't it clever of me, said Teddy proudly, and he walked about showing his new towel off to everyone. The Clockwork Mouse loved it, and the yellow duck said it was the longest she had ever seen. The bear was so happy and proud that his boot-button eyes shone like little bright lamps. Not long afterwards, the toys all sat down together to have cups of cocoa, which the Clockwork Mouse had made for them on the stove in the doll's house. Amelia Jane sat down beside the teddy, and whatever do you suppose she did? When the others were not looking, she took hold of Bear's plasticine towel, and with her clever fingers, she made the end of it into a snake's head. Fancy that. It looked exactly like a snake now, with its mouth open and two little holes for eyes. The Golly saw it first and gave a shriek. Whoa! Look at your tail. It's turned into a snake, Teddy. The bear looked down and like, what? And he saw it had a snake's head on the end of the tail. He jumped up with a yell. Oh no, go away, snake, go away, he shouted. And he ran to the other side of the room. But of course his tail followed him, for it was stuck onto him, and it looked as if the snake was running after him backwards. Poor Teddy. He was so petrified. He didn't like snakes at all. And to have his new tail turning into one terrible thing like that frightened him so bad. Well, Amelia Jane just laughed till she cried. It seemed so funny to her to see the teddy bear rushing about with the snake tail. She couldn't stop laughing. The toys thought and heard her very unkind laugh, and the golden-haired doll slapped her. But as Amelia Jane could slap twice as hard, that wasn't much good. Take your tail off, silly, if you're afraid of it, called Amelia Jane. How can I take off my tail thing if it's growing on me, stupid? Yelled back the teddy. Amelia Jane ran to the bear and jerked at the tail. Of course, it came off quite easily, and it was only made of plasticine. She threw it out the window. The toys looked on in surprise. Then they all cheered Amelia. Hooray! Brave of you! How brave, Amelia Jane! How good of you to do that! Did it hurt, Teddy? Oh, not a bit, said Teddy in surprise. Oh, thank you, Amelia Jane. The snake may have bitten me or you. You are very brave. Amelia Jane didn't tell the toys that the towel had only been made of plasticine by herself. No, the naughty doll said nothing at all, but let the toys make a nice fuss of her. I'll think of another plasticine trick, she thought gleefully. And can you guess it? It wasn't very long before she did. She made a set of nice little chairs, all with seats and backs and 4 neat little legs. Then she went to the paint box and got red paint. She painted those little chairs, all bright red, and really they looked simply lovely when she had finished. But of course you couldn't sit down on them because they were only made of plasticine and would crumble up at once. But they didn't look as if they were made of plasticine. When you looked at them, they looked like real wooden chairs. Amelia Jane set them all out neatly in the middle of the floor. Oh, what are those chairs for? Asked the golly in surprise. I'm going to have a party, said Amelia Jane, and she got a table from the doll's house. Then she called to the toys, do come and join my terrific party. The cakes haven't come yet, but they'll be here soon. Don't worry, I've got them on order with DoorDash. Just come and sit down and wait a while, toys. The toys were pleased, for they loved any sort of party. They came running over to Amelia Jane. Even the Clockwork Mouse came, and so did the old Blue Rabbit, who only had one eye and no whiskers. Do sit down, said Amelia, waving her hand to the red chairs. I hope there are enough seats for all of you. Everyone sat down, but oh, what a shock they got. The golly's chair sank down at once, all its legs broken and crumbled. He landed with such a bump on the ground. The golden-haired doll's chair tipped over backwards. And she bumped her head and sat so hard on plasticine that it stuck on a pretty blue frog. The Clockwork Mouse's chair crumbled up and it fell off and he lost his key. One by one, all the red chairs gave way and tipped out the surprise toys. The clown didn't know what was happening and he clutched the back of his chair so hard that he squeezed up the plasticine it was made of and got it all up his arms. What a shock for him. Amelia Jane thought it was so funny. She laughed and laughed. You dumb toys. It isn't funny, said the golly angrily. Is this a trick instead of a party? Yes, said Amelia Jane. Oh, golly, did you look funny tumbling on that floor? I suppose there are no cakes coming after all either with DoorDash, said the clown fiercely. And I suppose too that it was you who stuck on the teddy bear's tail and made it plasticine. You're a wicked doll and you deserve to be frightened yourself. Oh, shut up, you can't frighten me, said Amelia Jane. I'm not afraid of anything and any of you. But she was. You know, she was actually afraid of black beetles. The toys knew this and they made up their minds to punish her. They went to the plasticine box, and the clown, who was very clever with his fingers, made lots of big beetles, all with feelers on their heads and 6 legs under their bodies. The clown painted them black. "This isn't a very kind thing to do," said the clown as he finished the last beetle, "but really, Amelia Jane is so naughty that we must teach her a lesson." "Where is she?" In the toy cupboard reading," said the mouse. The clown took up the black beetles and put them here and there all along the floor. Then he called Amelia Jane. "Amelia, Amelia, come quickly. Amelia, come on." Amelia Jane put down her book and rushed out of the cupboard, but when she saw those black plasticine beetles, she gave such a yell. Oh, beetles! Where have these freaking things come from? Take them away!" The bear had tied a bit of black cotton to one beetle, and he suddenly jerked it so it looked like it was moving. The beetle jumped, and Amelia screamed, "It's coming for me! Oh, it's coming after me!" She rushed back into the toy cupboard as quick as she could and crouched in the darkest corner. And do you know, she didn't come out of the cupboard for 2 days. So the toys had a lovely time playing together without wondering what mischief Amelia Jane was up to. They have taken away the black beetles, of course, but Amelia Jane doesn't know that. She'll think twice before she gets into mischief again, won't she? And that was the end of chapter 5. Hope you enjoyed that one. It's been Chill Mama. Please like and subscribe, it's most appreciated. And good night wherever you